Hey, my name's Amanda Doamaral, and I'm an AP World History teacher and exam reader. And I'm going to show you today why an online course is actually the best tool that you can use to support your students on the AP World exam. So, maybe for your student, this is their first AP class. For AP World, that tends to be the case because it's oftentimes a sophomore class, and maybe they're not seeing the grades that they're used to. I know for my students, there were a lot of kids that are really used to getting A's and B's, and all of a sudden AP World is kind of sending them down this spiral, and they're just like consistently stressed about it. They're stressed about their grades and the number of assignments and the readings and the exam itself. So if your student is in one of those boats, or maybe they also have an unhelpful teacher, there are so many great AP World teachers out there, but there are also teachers who are not sure exactly how the exam works and are not giving their students the tools that they need to do well on this test. And so if one of these is true for you, then you're definitely in the right place, because I'm going to show you today in a pretty short amount of time exactly how I can help your student to pass this exam. So I created the Mastering AP World History course because I saw a lot of AP World students that just were really underutilizing a lot of the resources that are out there. There are a ton of teachers that are creating a lot of content, myself included, and I think that for all of us, we can really benefit from each other. And so I created this course as a way to kind of like funnel together the things that we know about this test, what we know is true, to help students to see results, to really get those grades up and to see pass rates higher. I also know that a lot of students look to like private tutoring, but a lot of tutors are also not well versed on this exam. If the tutor themselves took AP World 5-10 years ago, the exam was completely different. It's been entirely updated in the last 2 years. So you really need to get those supports from someone who knows these updates and is really well versed in that. And so this online course gives students the opportunity to really practice the skills and to do so on their own time. AP students tend to be super busy, and so an online course like this doesn't require that students show up at a certain time or a certain place for a certain amount of time. So I'm going to show you why this online course is probably the answer to your issues, to your students' problems in this class, and why it's important to really like be creative with that review process, especially for AP World. So for me personally, my mission, I see a lot of students that are just beyond stressed out, and I know that the AP courses are a goal for a lot of students, but in the end, they're they can be these like really just inaccessible classes that just become really like stressful. And I don't want to see students stressed like that. I don't want students to shy away from academic challenges because of bad experiences in one class. I want students to be excited about taking risks in their academic career. For a sophomore taking AP World, this is likely not going to be their only AP class, and nor should it be. They shouldn't decide to not take AP US or AP, biology just because this was too stressful. AP classes should be accessible for every student and are essentially a gateway into really unlocking their potential in college. And I want students to feel confident. I want them to walk into the test feeling like, I got this. I know what to expect. I've done everything I can to succeed. I'm ready for this exam. And then I want them to leave the test feeling good about it. Feeling excited, feeling like I really did well. I did my best. I know I got some of those questions right. Maybe they got a lot of those questions right. It's scoring well on the exam is important and is awesome, but that's not the end of the day goal, right? Like for 15, 16-year-olds, we need to be increasing their confidence. We need to be, bringing them into the world of taking academic risks and to be aware of what that means for them. And I want to see that. That's like my ultimate goal. I feel like students have succeeded if they've taken on the challenge of the course, taken on the challenge of the exam, and have done everything they can in order to do their best. And then they'll continue to take those challenges. So this is my ultimate mission. This is everything that of who I am, and this entire course has been built on this idea. Just really preparing students for the stress that this exam is going to cause for them, and to make sure that they have the tools to overcome that, and that they continue to take AP classes and really challenging courses. So a little bit about myself. So my name is Amanda Doamaral. I'm currently based in Portland, Maine. I went to Boston University, where I studied social studies education, and then I also have a master's in urban education from Loyola Marymount. I taught AP World History in Oakland, California for the last 5 years, and I also am a reader for the AP World History exam. So that means that I actually read the essays and score them in order to give students their real AP scores. And then finally, after I actually left the classroom, I did a lot of traveling and have written a lot about AP World specific content in traveling. So I really have missed the teaching of history, especially AP World. I feel like with AP World, kids come in and they're, just finishing their 9th grade year, and they can, they're young. And then by the end of the year, they're basically juniors, and it's really exciting to see how far they've come. But I knew that I was making a difference with kids. I had, in Oakland, I had 2 sections of AP World, and a lot of these students weren't necessarily passing, they weren't on track to pass their AP exam. Maybe their reading scores were below grade level, for example. But 60% of my students in my class passed the AP World exam. And that was just amazing. And a lot of those students have gone on to take other AP classes. So like I said, that is the goal for me. How many of almost all of my students have taken an AP US class after the fact. So they didn't shy away from this challenge. So even if they didn't pass the exam, they still have gone on to take those risks. But a lot of my students have actually gotten credit. In terms of some of the private tutoring that I've done, actually 100% of my privately tutored students have passed. And that's all because of really being able to look at their writing and giving them a lot of feedback on exactly what they're doing. So every single sentence is helping them earn points. I actually, in my classes, had more 4s and less 1s than the national average. So that was a huge success for us last year at the school that I was at. I had a lot of 4s in my class, and that means that I was taking students who may have been in the 2-3 range and really pushing them forward. And same thing with the 1s. I only had 3 or 4 kids that got a 1 on the exam, and everybody else got at least a 2. And so even though some of those students didn't necessarily earn college credit, they have confidence in themselves that they never would have had before. They know that they took this challenge and they did a lot better than they thought they would. They earned some points, they got some things right. And that for them was huge. But, a lot of my students got college credit. And then finally, the enrollment. So just getting kids to take on this challenge. As a 9th grade teacher, I worked with a lot of students to schedule their courses for 10th grade. And a lot of them didn't think that they could take AP World. They didn't think that that was the right place for them. But that's not fair to students. That's not how things should be. Anybody that wants to take AP World is in the right place, right? Every student has the opportunity to take it, and every student can do well. And so I was able to help increase enrollment by 400% at my school. So we went from 1 class to 4 classes. And now we even have to turn kids away because we just don't have enough teachers to teach that many sections. But again, teaching kids that you are in the right place. You can do this. You are not below this level of rigor. You can meet this level of rigor. You just have to be taught how. So, one of my students, Gabby, for example, she had, in the first semester, had a low grade and was a student that felt like she didn't necessarily belong in the class and felt like everyone else around me is is smarter than me or is doing better. And I worked a lot with her. I worked one-on-one with her, and I really helped her improve her grade so that she could get a B in the class. And now, she's taking AP US and she's looking at other AP classes and she sees herself as part of those groups. And like that is the biggest success. This is more important to me than any of the other, cool facts and data that I have. So a little bit about the AP World exam. On May 17th at 8 a.m., all AP World students in the entire world will take the AP World exam. Everyone takes it at the exact same time. Obviously, there's differences in time zones. But essentially, the test has two sections. Section 1 is for multiple choice and short answer. Section 1 accounts for 60% of the exam score total and will take them a little bit over an hour and a half. Section 2 is 2 different essays. They have to write a document-based essay, which is where they get a series of documents and they have to use them to argue a point. They have to create an argument based on those documents, and they have to use the evidence from them to prove their point. And then the last part is to write a long essay question. So there's a lot of writing. And the test itself, it takes a little bit more than 3 hours. It's a very challenging process to sit through an exam for that long. And then they have to be able to recall 10,000 years of world history. That's a lot of stuff. It's literally everything that ever happened to humans. And then be able to write these timed, well thought out analytical essays. So, I don't know about you, but for me, even in college, the stakes didn't seem that high, right? Like we didn't have to, some of those skills weren't things that we had to do. And so to ask 15 and 16-year-olds to do this is a huge, huge, huge ask. And this is what's overwhelming for them. They know that May 17th at 8 a.m., they're going to be sitting there and having to take this test. And, it's really difficult. So, the question is like, how do we help kids feel like they know what to expect and they know that they can do this? And so a lot of the online course is just really going through the specifics of each section of this test. What do you do? What's your strategy? What's your plan of attack for this section? So why does it matter? The AP World exam, like I mentioned, it's awesome to pass the AP World exam. Actually, any of the AP history classes. If you score a 3, 4, or 5, so the exam itself is scored 1 through 5, if you get a 3 or higher, you are eligible to receive college credit for 2 classes. Most AP exams only give you credit for 1. AP histories give you credit for 2. That's because usually in college, the amount of content in this course is so much that college divides it into 2. So they're going to get credit for world history until 1500 and world history since 1500, for example. That's going to save them an average of $8,000. Okay, so I am personally in a lot of student debt, and I can tell you that that is not the road you want to take for your child. The more that you can save ahead of time, the better. And I didn't have teachers telling me that I could do it. I had a school system that sort of held me back. And so I'm trying to break down these barriers for kids because you shouldn't have to walk into your career already in debt. Plus, if they're a history or humanities major, they'll get to skip those intro classes and move into more, higher level courses. If they're not a history major, if they're going into science, math, engineering, technologies, any of those are gonna have general requirements. They're still gonna have to take those general classes in their freshman year. And this kind of test is perfect for them because they can opt out of that. They'll go in having those credits so they can start on their, biology degree or their engineering degree faster. They get to, not waste their time on courses that they know they don't want to study. Also, a kind of random privilege for here is that a lot of schools give you higher class status when you have AP credits. Like you can start as a freshman, but actually have enough credits to be a sophomore. And so at the end of their freshman year, if the school does housing through class, right? So like seniors go first, juniors then they're actually going to have better housing. They're going to be able to choose their housing faster. They're technically going into their like junior class standing by the end of their freshman year. So that's huge. And then with that comes being able to actually finish in less than 4 years. So, as I mentioned, saving money is important, and finishing in less than 4 years is a huge way to do that. So Mastering AP World History is this, online course, and I want to actually take you into the course and show you the different modules and show you the different features that I've built. And everything has been built with the intention of really promoting confidence in students. That is the absolute most important thing. But I also really want to make sure that they know exactly how to attack each section of the exam, and that they know what strategies they should use to scoop up as many points as they can in every single section. So, in order to actually pass the AP World exam, you need to earn about half of the points available on the test. And so I have developed ways to show kids how to do that. There are little, tricks and tips that I have throughout the test that can really maximize points. And that's exactly what I've done with this course is, really laid all those out for kids and shown them examples. I've written example essays and shown them exactly how it all works. So let's go take a look at the course. So let's take a look at this course. So we've got a class curriculum. When you sign in, you can see all of the lectures. And as you can see, there's just like a ton of content here. I have just made it so that everything is explained. And so basically what they do is they can start, they'll press start and it'll open up the actual lecture for them. And so the lectures are a lot of video and then also a lot of text and different ways that I can explain different things to them. So, for example, this is just like the welcome video, and I kind of explain how to actually go through this course. And then I ultimately give them a course calendar so they can start the course anytime. They can complete it. I've given them a calendar in order to complete it in 1, 2, 4, or 7 weeks. And all of that includes like assignments and different things, due dates that they should keep in mind. And I know that they've got their class and other classes and other responsibilities, so none of what I've given them should take them more than 20-25 minutes per day. And you can schedule it however you want. The class doesn't actually start or end at any certain date. It goes whenever you sign up. So in the course, for example, what they'll see is, in this section, this is multiple choice. I kind of introduce them to the multiple choice questions, and then I go through an example. So they'll be able to see clearly, like, these are the steps that you should take in order to get more multiple choice questions correct. And then I go through an example multiple choice question. So, I give them clear, like, think aloud. Like, I'm going to read this question to you and I'm going to tell you this is what you should be thinking while you attack this question. And I do that twice. So, there's 2 full sets of multiple choice practice questions. So they can see, like, not only what are the steps that you should do, but let's do some practice with that. And then I give them an assignment. Then I personally want to see what they do based on what they have learned. How are they gonna do better on this multiple choice? So they'll take one of these, one or more. I'll see their results and I'll be able to check in directly with them and find out what issues did you have? What else can I help you with the multiple choice? I'll go through it exactly. And in these multiple choice reviews are just, kind of on Google. They can do this anywhere. And it clearly, has the same layout that they're going to see on the exam. It's all updated for the new test. So then I also give them tips and tricks, just like final things that they need to know, and just like a place where they can actually practice even more multiple choice. So every section looks like that. I go over how to do it. I go over examples of what to do, and then I give them an assignment because I want to read what they do, and especially in the essays. For the essays, what they're going to do is they're going to write an essay, they're going to share it with me, and I'm going to give them direct feedback. I'm going to comment all over it. I'm going to highlight things. I'm going to tell them what their score will be. and they can edit it and send it back to me as many times as they want so that we can get it correct. We can make sure that they have the exact right system to get all their points. And then, same thing with the DBQ and the LEQ. One other factor in this course that I actually give them is a way to study better, just in general. So I talk about how to track data, and I give them the tools to actually track the things they've done in their class or what they do on this course, so that they can learn how to pinpoint the exact skills that they need to work on the most. So this is like the most important skill I think a student can have, is to really have the agency to know, I need to work on this skill and this is how I'm going to do it. And then I show them how to plan, how to actually have a schedule that really works for them. Build out a Google Calendar schedule, get organized, make use of your time. All of these things are helping them to work smarter, not harder, right? I don't want to see students spending hours and hours and hours or staying up super late studying. None of this is worth that. Their health and their happiness is more important. I want AP World to fit into their lives, not to be their life, right? This is not, you can do well on this test without giving over all of your time. And this is how I show them how to do that, through the high level studying. Then there's also a couple of bonuses included. I will give them these key concept review slides. So in terms of the actual content, like I said, there's 10,000 years that they have to know. I've gone through the actual course and I've pulled out the most important facts for every single section. So as you can see, they have access to this. They'll know this is like going to help them stay on track and help them with those last minute reviews. So I go through the whole course. I have different pictures and, fun GIFs just for fun. And this really just shows them, like, in this key concept, this is what the test expects from you. The College Board really lays it out. And so students should know those things. It's not like, it is all of human history that they have to cover, but it's not every single detail of everything that ever happened. College Board publishes their course description. They tell teachers what we need to teach, what is going to be on the test. I want students to know what that is. They should know exactly how to organize the content so that they can do better. I also have a workbook that they get, and this will help them track their data, right? So this is like the data trackers, how to study better so they can keep track of their multiple choice. They know exactly which skill, like maybe they're not good at comparative multiple choice, but they're really good at causation multiple choice. Okay, that tells them that now they need to go and practice comparison multiple choice questions. And they'll have access to me. I can give them all kinds of ways to do better in that. So these trackers are going to be really useful for them to really isolate what they need to work on. And then finally, I know that the crash course world history videos are a huge tool for students to review. John Green does these videos, and they just are like a really good method of review, because he goes over a lot of content and in like 10-minute videos. So I've got a calendar so that they can actually review and line those up to the key concepts. So I'll show you right here. I'll just click on it. So like, for example, you saw with key concept 2.1 is all about the religions. And so I've isolated that. I've made note that this video is specifically going to help them with that key concept so that they can review while they go over my slides. A quick other note about the actual like class and about the content. I have, given them a complete list of everything. They have all those key concepts in here, and they also have access to these like important questions for each key concept as another way that they can stay focused, so they don't have to go back and reread their entire textbook or anything crazy. And then I've got all kinds of resources for them, really great ways to organize their review sessions, to really like figure out what is it that you need to study, what is it that you need to do, and sharing those things with them. And so this is a, this is what it looks like. Okay, so now you've seen the behind the scenes of the the Mastering AP World History course. It was designed with the intention of being student friendly, of making sure that kids are following along, and I can really test I'll be able to personally see how they do throughout. I know a lot of other tools don't offer that. Kids like submit an answer and it just kind of like goes into the void and nobody really looks at it. Nobody gives them feedback. Nobody tells them what to do next. And like, this is a way that I can really stay on top of kids while they're learning. So, as you saw, there's 10 different modules and 30 plus video lectures. There's an app included that they can actually access any of these on their app or on a computer. And so they'll be able to go through all of this, like I said, in either 1, 2, 4, or 7 weeks. So it depends on how much time they have and how fast they want to do it. There's a lot of pieces to this, a lot of what you're going to get in the course. So I just want to show you what's included. You have access to the entire course forever. You can go online 24/7 and access that. You can see the video, the audio, the text lessons. You're going to get essay outlines and planners, these tools that I've created to really maximize the points, and all of that is included. Plus, I've got a VIP support group for students on Facebook where they can really help each other out. I love seeing students answer each other's questions, grading each other's essays, and I'm completely moderating that. There are other AP World teachers in there as well, so that anytime they have a question, whether it's for homework, for an essay they're preparing for, the week of the test, anything, they'll be able to go in there, ask for help, and myself or another AP World teacher or students will be able to help them. Plus, I'm going to include 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. So it's really important that I get to know students, that I build a relationship with them, and that they know what I'm all about and that they can reach out to me for any help. And so it's important for me that I check in with them, that I have an hour with them when they first start the course and another hour with them when, at some point when they're within the course, so that I can really guide them and hear what their challenges are, what they want from the Mastering AP World course, how they're doing in their own class, and really like help them focus on pieces that I think will help them the most, help them make decisions about that. So 2 coaching sessions are included with me. And then I also have group office hours every week, and I hold that on Instagram. So it's where they already are anyways, and they can just check in with me live. They can ask questions. They can hear other people asking questions. And then you saw some of the bonuses that are included. One bonus that you didn't see is that you actually get like pretty deep discounts on further like private and group coaching that I offer. So a lot of times, private coaching, it goes for like, I've literally seen packages for $2,000 for 10 hours for kids. And that's ridiculous. So I've, really discounted everything so that it's really affordable, and through this course you unlock other discounts. So there's one more bonus that I want to let you know about, and that's as a thank you for coming to this video, for sticking it out till the end. I'm going to give you 30% off of the entire course. So if you're interested in enrolling, you can enroll now. The 30% off discount is good for the next 24 hours. So you see the timer below is ticking. So as soon as that time is up, this deal is actually going to be gone. If you're interested in enrolling, I definitely recommend doing that soon so that you get the best deal, but also because May 17th is coming up and we want to make sure that students are ready to go by 8 a.m. on that day. So if you have questions at this point about the course or about me or just about AP World History in general, I want to hear from you. So you can sign up for a 20-minute phone call with me. It's totally free. There's no strings attached to it, but you and I will get a chance to connect. I can hear about your student's AP World experience, their strengths and issues as a student in general, and I can really give you some feedback and let you know what parts of this course I think will really be useful for your student, or if there's other resources I think are helpful. I mean, my main purpose is to help students with AP World History. So if my course is not going to be it for you, then I want to help you find what is going to be helpful for you. So you can sign up for that 20-minute session. I'm happy to also talk to your student directly if you want to put them on the phone as well. I can get some clear information from them about what their class is like. And so, sign up for a time. I'm available before your timer runs out. So again, you got the next day to enroll at the best deal. So the deal is going to go away. And if you have any questions, sign up for a 20-minute phone call with me or just shoot me an email. I will respond pretty quickly. I'm always got my phone on me. So I hope to hear from you soon, and if not, good luck on the AP World History exam to your student, and I hope that they continue to take AP classes and challenge themselves. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.